What I did to heal from sexual addictive tendencies. I wasn't sex addicted, but I did mix sex and love together, and I did have sexual imbalances. And my journey started before I met my beloved, Paul. Um, I had wanted to connect with people from the heart and to truly be loved just for who I am. And after I met him, and after we started working together, and after the love started building, he helped bring things to fruition. So, what I did to heal from my highly sexual energy and my desire to turn everybody on was I worked with him, and I trained my beloved in the healing arts that I had been an expert in. I trained him in massage. I trained him in acupressure. I trained him in Reiki. I initiated him to become a Usui Reiki master and a Kundalini Reiki master. And I shared with him breath work, and I coached him on what I needed to heal my body. And we did an enormous amount of ayahuasca ceremonies together and psilocybin, and then later on bufo. So when we first did the ayahuasca ceremonies, I being the Tantra practitioner and teacher for I don't know how many years at the time it was probably 17 or 15 years at the time that I had started with the ayahuasca plant medicine. And when we were in our ceremonies, a lot of stuff would come up, and I would have a lot of trauma that would come to the surface, and I had a lot of emotional things that I needed to process around my mom, around not feeling loved as a little girl, feeling lonely, feeling abandoned, and I had a lot of trauma that I had to process around relationships, old relationships, sexual imbalances, like sexual doing sex or having sex in situations that I never really wanted to, or being pushed into relationships that I never really wanted to, being pushed into a polyamorous lifestyle as a young girl when I never even wanted to. And so I healed from a lot of that. I worked through a lot of that through doing the plant medicine work, through doing the ayahuasca, through the heart medicine. And I had received the healing that I needed. So when I needed acupressure, when I needed to be sexual, when I needed to be hugged, when I needed to be cuddled, when I needed Reiki, when I needed to have an orgasm, I would confide in my beloved, who was basically like a full-time healer to me during that time that we were together. I said that I had trained him as a Tantra teacher, practitioner. I trained him to become a Tantra healer by working with me for 5 years or so. He worked with me a lot, and hours, for maybe over 1,000 or 15 hours of working on me. And then I worked on him as well. It wasn't just I was receiving, he also received. But that was how I had healed from a lot of the sexual imbalances. So when an emotion would come up, I would try to process it on my own. But we were so close, and we shared everything with each other. And I just requested to receive acupressure in different areas of my body that I was feeling energy, or I was feeling tightness, or I was feeling tension, or I was noticing that there was a very strong energy that needed to be cleared. And he would support me with that, with deep womb work, deep acupressure work, work on the external and on the internal, on the pelvic floor. And we just did a lot of emotional processing, and that helped enormously to clear from all of the emotions that were stuck in my body. And many emotions, many layers, sadness and grief, anger, frustration, disappointment, being angry at myself, being angry at others, confusion, wanting to just be loved. So we worked very deeply for many years, many hours, multiple years, and I had an opportunity to really go deep and process on all these different aspects. So we have our musculature, we have our muscles surrounding our hips, around our groin, around our thighs, our buttocks, our butt cheeks. We have the muscles at our pubic bone area. On the external, there's muscles all in those areas. There's muscles all along the interior of the legs, and then all in the stomach, all around the stomach, the upper part of the stomach, the sides of the stomach, your waist, all around the ribs. There's so much emotion that's trapped in these areas of the body. And when we would do our ayahuasca ceremonies, he would do acupressure on my stomach, on my organs, and I felt like my mom or my grandmother, or mostly those two, were in my stomach. And he would do acupressure, and we would just have it. He would stay there. We wouldn't move. We would stay in one spot 20 minutes, a half an hour, literally not moving, and literally holding acupressure on the same spot for a very long time, until it melted and it moved and it shifted inside to another part of the belly or the stomach. And we would just hold it and breathe and use the palms, use the fingertips. And, most of the time it was the palms or the fingertips. Sometimes it was the knuckles. Sometimes it was, the bottom part of the palm. But sometimes it was here. And it was just pushing it, guiding it, moving it, being present with it, loving it, being with it, breathing with it, and allowing it to release, allowing it to feel, and allowing whatever emotions that were in there to come up. And it took a lot of journeys, a lot of ayahuasca journeys, and a lot of plant medicine journeys before I was able to fully release all of the emotions, and a lot of massage outside of the journeys. So it was in the journeys, and then also at home on our own after we were done the journey and we were integrating. During that integration process, there was a lot of emotion that came up that I was able to process and let go of, both with him and on my own. And then of course, I worked on him as well, but there was just a lot to unravel, a lot to unpack, is what they say. So that was pretty much what did it. That is what helped me to come to my heart, to come to a place of loving myself, to come to a place of realizing that I just wanted to be loved at my core, and being sexual as I was, I felt like I wasn't giving myself the love that I really needed. I was just looking to fill that love. I was looking for love. I was looking for love. I wanted a deep connection, and I was trying to figure out how to get it. And orgasms were great, but I also had to learn how to hold and not release all the time, so that I could work with the sexual energy that was in my body and helped it to move up to my heart. So that video I made on helping men heal from sex addiction, that's a good practice for women as well. We can do a similar practice of working on bringing the energy up to the heart. Now, women don't need to wait 3 weeks because they have a different system. Their womb, their uterus, it's different, and the design and the way that we release energy, the way we hold energy is different. Although women still do need to hold for a little bit of time if they are dealing with any trauma, any inner child work, or want to work on that addictive or that passionate energy that is just, it's just so much. And to get to the root of it by being patient and waiting and breathing and pulling the energy up to the heart. It's the same thing. Breathe into the belly, squeeze your genital muscles, exhale up to the heart. I have a book that I wrote, The Heart Alive, and it talks about that practice for both men and women, for couples and individuals, and how they can help to heal from this sexual addictive types of energies and imbalances, and how they can bring whatever is trapped in their body up and help it to process and release and let go. So that is one explanation, and I hope this helped you understand a little bit of the journey, not just for men, but also for women, and what I did and how I healed, and how Paul, my beloved, was my angel and my hero, and he's the one out of all the people, after 25 years of working with healers, doing numerous healers training certifications, he's the one that helped me to bring all of this to fruition and to bring it into a place of integration within myself, so that I can be balanced and whole. And I am forever, forever, forever grateful for what he did for me, and the service and the generosity and the love that he gave to me before he passed on. So I am grateful, and I am filled with love, and now I have this amazing wisdom to share with others, and I hope that I get to meet you, and I look forward to supporting you someday. Namaste.